Hello, Giants fans, and welcome to your Valentine's Views podcast for Thursday, October 6th. If you're listening across the Big Blue View Radio Network, please subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. If you're watching us on YouTube, please like, share, subscribe there as well. All right, Giants face the Green Bay Packers this Sunday in London across the pond, Tottenham Spur Stadium. And it's time for yours truly to make his weekly prediction for how the 3-1 Giants are going to do this week. And if you're a regular Big Blue View reader, you may have already seen our staff predictions at Big Blue View, which are up today on the website. But let's get right to my prediction. Giants are 8-point underdogs per SB Nation partner DraftKings Sportsbook. And just a reminder, if you're intending to go in and drop some money on the Giants or on any NFL game this week, or anything at DraftKings Sportsbook for that matter, just a reminder that minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. Please see our show notes both on YouTube and across the podcast network for further details. All right, Giants fans, as I said, Giants 8-point underdog to Aaron Rodgers and company this weekend in London. And as much as you want to feel good about the New York Giants, I cannot pick them to win this football game. I just can't do it. Not against Aaron Rodgers, not against a quality football team like this. Yes, the Giants defeated the Tennessee Titans, who were the number one seed in the AFC last week. Yes, they were competitive, very competitive, in fact, against the Dallas Cowboys. But for my money, Rodgers, of course, easily the best quarterback that the Giants have faced so far this season. And I think that the Giants just aren't quite up to being ready to winning a game like this. Giants are making a lot of progress. Giants have won 3 or 4 games in surprising fashion. They've been tough. They've been gritty. They have shown a lot of flexibility from the coaching staff in terms of coming up with ways to win games when things didn't go right, like last week when the Giants lost both quarterbacks. And Brian Daboll said he was drawing up plays on a grease board on the sideline, with he and offensive coordinator Mike Kafka and offensive line coach Bobby Johnson sort of, putting their heads together, trying to come up with some things that they could do to move the football. Lots of credit to the Giants so far this season. I just don't see them winning this game. I think they might cover the spread. If it remains at 8 points, I think they'll make a good showing, give a good accounting of themselves. But I don't see them, coming home to New Jersey with victory number 4 after Sunday. I do think there is a path for the Giants to win this game if they can run the football successfully. They do have, to this point in the season, the NFL's best rushing attack, led, of course, by superstar running back Saquon Barkley, who looks like the Barkley of 2018 and early 2019, before injuries, of course, started to strike Barkley. And also the legs of quarterback Daniel Jones. The big question this week is what Jones will be able to give the Giants. I was at practice on Wednesday, and Jones, I'll be shocked if Jones does not play. Jones moved really well on Wednesday. When I watched Jones, there's no way Jones has a high ankle sprain. This has to be a low ankle sprain. Jones moved very well. He did drop backs during the early portion of practice, which was open to media. We saw about 25 minutes of a 2-hour practice. He did drop backs, looked comfortable. He did sprint outs to his right and throwing into a net, looking really comfortable. He did play action bootlegs going to his left. The play action bootleg, of course, being the play he scored 2 touchdowns on Sunday against the Chicago Bears. He looked really, really comfortable moving around. And that, of course, is on Wednesday with the game on Sunday. He's only going to get healthier. I'll be very surprised if Jones doesn't play. And I think, just judging from the way he was moving around, I think that the quarterback run game is going to be available to the Giants on Sunday against Green Bay. The Packers, if you look statistically so far this season, have not defended the run well. So the path to victory for the Giants is running the football, controlling the clock, keeping Aaron Rodgers on the sideline, trying to get a couple of turnovers, from the Packers and take advantage of those, maybe make a big play or two of their own in the passing game, and go from there. So there is a path. I can't in good conscience pick the Giants to win this particular football game. All right, that's the bad news that I've got for you today, but there is actually plenty of good news, plenty of happy news for New York Giants fans on this Thursday. News broke this morning that the Giants are re-signing former Giants defensive captain, 3-time Pro Bowl safety, Landon Collins. Collins, of course, left the Giants after I believe it was after the 2018 season, signed a big free agent contract with Washington, has been a free agent this year. Collins is reportedly joining the Giants practice squad. Most likely that practice squad designation won't last long. I'll be surprised if he's not either an elevation to the 53-man roster or a full-blown part of the 53-man roster by week 6 when the Giants host the Baltimore Ravens at MetLife Stadium. Collins, as I said, 3-time Pro Bowler, 1-time All-Pro with the Giants. When he left New York, the Giants simply made the decision, which I believe was correct at the time, that they couldn't compete with a 6-year, $84 million contract that Washington gave to Collins. And Collins had a couple of good years in Washington, but got cut loose at the end of the 2021 season and is now returning to your New York Giants. I think this is a signing that makes sense for defensive coordinator Wink Martindale's defense. He's doing a lot of different things with safeties. The Giants have been mixing and matching at the linebacker position. They've been dropping safeties down to the linebacker position quite a bit, using Julian Love in that role, using Xavier McKinney down close to the line of scrimmage. They've used rookie Dane Belton there a few times, although they've also used Belton a lot of times when he's been on the field. They've used him in single high coverage, with other guys up close to the line of scrimmage. They've used veteran safety Tony Jefferson, who's been up for a couple of games as a practice squad elevation. They've used Jefferson close to the line of scrimmage. When they've had actual linebackers in the game, they've mixed and matched with Micah McFadden, with Austin Calitro, now with the newly signed Jalen Smith. So they're mixing and matching in that role. And I'll be honest, I've always thought that the hybrid linebacker, blitzing, run defender role was the right one for Landon Collins. Early in his career, it was a question of whether or not he would accept it. And I don't think he was really willing to accept that role early on in his career. Perhaps now, later in his career, to get another opportunity. Perhaps now he'll be more amenable to that role. I think it's a really good role for him in New York. This is a guy that had 3 sacks, 81 tackles. He's still a good football player. It's a little bit surprising that at this point in the season, the Giants were able to grab a guy like this. So good signing for the Giants. We'll see how quickly he's up on the 53-man roster. A couple of other really good sort of inspiring notes from the Giants on Wednesday. Nick Gates, who had that gruesome fractured left leg in week 2 of the 2021 season, practiced for the first time with the Giants on Wednesday. He's been designated to return from the physically unable to perform list. And this is an awesome story. Gates returning just 384 days after that injury. He's back on the field, 7 surgeries, grueling rehab, a lot of, obviously a lot of what he described as an emotional roller coaster. And Gates now has 3 weeks during which he can practice, show the Giants whether or not he is physically up to the task of being part of the 53-man roster. And after that 3-week time period, Giants will decide whether or not to add Gates to the 53-man roster or to leave him sidelined for the remainder of the year. And honestly, no matter what happens here with Gates, it's a tremendous, inspiring story. Please check out the interview with Nick Gates and the story that I was able to write, from some time spent in the locker room talking to Gates on Wednesday. Also, another inspiring story from the locker room involved the wide receiver Sterling Shepard. Obviously, we know that Shepard is out for the season with the torn ACL suffered week 3 against the Dallas Cowboys, but Shepard was in the locker room on Wednesday, said that he has no intention of retiring, said he was able to rehab once from a major injury, rehabbing from his 2021 torn Achilles tendon, and he thinks he can do it again, thinks that he wants to continue playing, hopes to continue his career with the Giants. I mean, that remains to be seen. He does not have a contract for next year, but it was great to see Shep in the locker room. It was great to see him, looking happy and being involved, being part of the team still. Said he intends to go to London, said he intends to stay around the team. He's the longest tenured Giant. He's a beloved figure in that building and in that organization and in the fan base as well. So best of luck to Shep as he once again tries to rehab. And, maybe we will see him in a Giants uniform again next year. All right, Giants fans, that's our show for today. Thank you, as always, for listening. Please remember to stay safe out there, take care of each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.